Okay. Hey guys. Yes, we are recording. Welcome to our team chat. Today is September 15th and it is 11 o'clock in the morning. And we are here to discuss inviting today. And I'm super excited about this because this is really the foundation of what we need to do as coaches if we want to make this a business that's profitable, right? Because we know that helping people is number one, like as far as helping people get fit and healthy. That's our number one goal. And then if we have business goals, we have to be doing more than just helping people get fit. We have to be growing our team. So if you have income goals that you want to start reaching, growing your team and developing that team bonus cycle and cycling more and more and more each week, that's how you're going to grow your income. And so I wanted to just take some time to really break down what it takes to grow your team. And my goal with this, and my goal, like, honestly, like, as far as mindset is with inviting to coaching or inviting to challenge groups or anything that we do as coaches really, is not to focus on the goal, but focus on the daily activities. Okay, so if you know you have a specific income goal, and you know that that is kind of linked to a rank, don't focus on like, oh, I need to be a 2-star diamond so that I can earn this much money. It's more important to focus on those daily activities that it's going to take to reach income goals and rank goals, and making the win not reaching the income and not reaching the rank, but doing the daily activity and showing up every single day and doing it even when you don't want to. That's really the win. And if you can teach your coaches to do the same thing and your challengers, because if you really think about it, fitness is the same way, right? Because I can't control what the scale says about me, right? Like I could eat clean and stay on my nutrition plan 100% and do my workout, and sometimes your weight fluctuates, right? So it's important to teach people that, hey, you want to focus on the activity and the results will come. They might not come all at once like you want it to, but they will happen over time if you're consistent. And one of the books, a personal development book that I really love that works on this topic of being consistent and that compound effect, is called The Compound Effect. It's by Darren Hardy, and it's a book that I really love because he really breaks down exactly what I'm talking about right now, is focusing on those activities and focusing on what you need to be doing daily to reach that goal, not the goal. Because if we focus on the goal, we will get disappointed because it's probably not going to happen as fast as you want it to happen. I know with losing weight, it doesn't happen as fast as I want it to happen. So focus on those daily activities. Okay, so we're going to talk about coaching. And I want to throw some numbers at you. And I'm really not a numbers person. Okay, so this will be very simple. I hope everybody can grasp it. But here are some facts about coaching, okay? Maybe I shouldn't say facts. It's averages. Averages with coaching, when we talk about how many people we invite and then the ratio of people from our invites that will actually sign up to coach is 10%, okay? So if I send out 10 invitations, I can expect one person to be like, yeah, Mary, I want to check this out. Maybe 2 people will check it out and I will get one person to sign up. As you progress with your learning some skills and getting comfortable with talking to people, getting comfortable presenting the business, growing your business and having more experience to tell them, like, okay, your story, your own personal story with finances and growing your team and coaching, as that all grows, you can adjust that number a little bit more in your favor, but not much. Okay. I've listened to a lot of top coaches talk about this, and the highest percentage I heard was Janelle Summers, and she said she gets 20% people will sign up. Okay. But that's, when you have a lot of experience. So let's go with the 10% number. If it takes 10 invitations to get even one person to be looking at this as an opportunity and signing up, and then there's another breakdown. So from the people that you sign up, say you send out 100 invitations and you get 10 people to sign up, how many of those people are actually going to do something? Because there's another level, right? We can't just become financially stable as a coach just by inviting people and having them sign up. We have to invite people, have them sign up, and then help them start their own business. And they have to want it enough to do this, what we're doing, right? Another 10%. Okay. So if you want to reach diamond or you want to reach star diamond in your business, you need to be recruiting more than just, 10 people a year. Okay. So I hope that makes sense to everyone. And what I want to encourage you to do is think about your goals, think about where you want to go with your business, how much money you want to make with your business. And there are some benchmark ranks that people go for. With Diamond Coach, I heard just the other day that the average income of a Diamond Coach is $1,500 a month. Okay, the average income of a 2-star Diamond Coach is $2,500 a month. Plus, as when you hit 2-star, you do qualify for a bonus, which is a quarterly bonus of $1,000, and that's just because you're a 2-star Diamond Coach. If you've been coaching for a lot longer, like I have, you're going to be on the higher end of the average, right? Because I've been coaching for a long time. But that just kind of gives you a little bit of a breakdown idea of where, you can take that income goal that you have and understand what it's going to take to get there. So for someone who's wanting to grow their business aggressively, what I would suggest is that you invite 3 to 5 people per day, 5 days a week to coaching. Okay, so if you're inviting 5 people a day to coaching, that's what, I'm really bad with math, 20 people per week, right? 80 people per month, okay? If you're just starting out and you're, wanting to get started, 2 to 3, but make it something each day. Even if it's just one person each day, that you reach out and invite. Okay, so here's some tips that I want to talk about for inviting. And I think this is important to, to make it happen, because it's one thing to sit there and say, okay, I know I need to do this. And it's another thing to do it, right? We all know that's true. It's one thing to sit there and go, okay, I know I need to invite 5 people today to be a coach, and then sit there for an hour scrolling Facebook and not doing anything. Okay. So what I would say, what helps me is just knowing that it's not going to do it itself, right? And it's kind of like ripping off a Band-Aid. You can do it really slowly and just painfully, or you can just rip it off and just get it done, okay? We have so many scripts, and I shared in the comments in our team page for this video, I shared in the comments a link to my Google Drive, and there are 5 or 6 documents in the Google Drive. There's a couple coach scripts. So they're example messages you send out to people. Okay, hey, so-and-so, they're all hey girl we call it a hey girl message, which is basically an out of the blue message. So it doesn't need this long, drawn out intro. It's the makeup of the message is literally a, hey, I know this is totally out of the blue, but I wanted to tell you about this thing. Okay. So I want to encourage you guys to go into the Google Drive link that I posted and just check out those messages, or check out those links that I have there. One of them is this Hey Girl invitation script, which is really good. And then there's another script one that it's a bunch of coaches who've been coaching for a while got together and they shared all of their intro messages, and it's all in one document, which is really cool. So you can go through and you can see probably 15 to 20 different ways of introducing this subject in that out of the blue type of message. And I know when I first started coaching, I used scripts all the time because I didn't know what to say to people. So don't be afraid to use a script, okay? And don't be afraid to modify it. When I first got started, I was given a script and I used it, and it was just this doesn't sound like me. And so I started making little tweaks, and every time I would make a tweak, I would save it into my Google document or into my Word document. That way I had it, right? And I just kept constantly updating my script. So do the same for yourself. Get one of these scripts that's in that Google Drive and just read it out loud. and ask yourself, okay, is this how I talk? Like, maybe ask, and this is actually a backdoor way of inviting people that you already know. Call up your friend and say, hey, would you mind helping me with my business? I need to practice my business presentation skills. Would you mind letting me present the business to you? Okay. And your friend will be like, yeah, sure, no problem. And there you get a really great opportunity to actually present the business to somebody who you never know. At the end, they might be like, well, this is actually kind of interesting. Like, where, can I have more information? But at the very least, you're going to get experience talking to someone and hearing true life questions and true life objections and, feedback from somebody who is not really in your mind or their mind, not really a super target. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a way to get experience, but definitely practice. I heard somewhere that, you hear all the time, practice makes perfect. And there's some famous basketball coach, I can't remember his name, but he said perfect practice makes perfect. And I agree with that 100%. Like the more you can perfect your skills, and look at it like that, like every time I sit down to invite someone, I'm really excited to see what they throw back at me, because it's going to just help me. Even if they never sign up to coach, it doesn't matter. This is a learning process every time I get behind the computer. It's a learning process for me to see, like, what are they going to ask me? How can I, hone my skills? Now, if somebody asks you a question and you don't know the answer, it's okay to say, you know what, I don't actually know the answer to that, but give me, let me look it up and I will definitely get back to you. There's nothing wrong with saying that. As a matter of fact, I think that just builds credibility, because you're not BSing people, right? And they see that, like, oh, like she's actually going to look this up for me. So don't be afraid to, do that. Okay, so here's a couple tips for making this happen, because we know it needs to happen, but doing it is the part that a lot of people struggle with. So I want you to schedule your time, okay? When you write it out in your calendar or in your day plan, do people use day planners? Or in your, phone, in your note, however you schedule your day, when you schedule out your day, set aside that time for inviting, okay? And make sure that you're in the right mindset going into it, okay? So it's okay to be nervous or excited, right? But make sure that you're in a positive mindset and you're not mad at your husband or irritated or whatever, because that translates. Anytime I talk to people, I always make sure. And if I'm not in the right mindset, I will not answer. If it's like a message to me, I'll leave it until I'm in the right mindset, because I don't ever want to respond and have my attitude come across, right? So make sure that you're excited and you're happy and you're thinking about, like, hey, this could be my next rock star. This person I'm about to talk to right now could be the next person. And gosh, you guys, in my business, I've seen this happen. It only takes one person to light a fire in your entire team. You could have 10, 15 people signed up, and then you get that one person who's actually really excited. And then the next thing you know, 4 or 5 people are really excited, because it only takes one spark. Okay, so have that mindset every time you sit down to talk to people, like, this could be my next rock star person who's just going to be super excited, and we're going to be able to feed off of our excitement together, and it's going to be awesome. So if you can channel that attitude, it'll come across. And then always lead with enthusiasm. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit out of order right now, but lead with your enthusiasm, because enthusiasm sells over knowledge every day. If you're excited and you're pumped up and people can feel that from you, it's catchy, right? Like, think about the last time somebody called you and they were super excited, right? It's really catchy. So lead with your enthusiasm, lead with, the things about coaching that you love. It could be the opportunity itself. It could be just being excited about the fact that you have this thing that you can do that, it marries your love of fitness and health with being able to, use that to help other people and make money. Like, that's awesome. That's an awesome opportunity. And who wouldn't want to at least know about it, right? So you also want to set goals for how many invites you want to send out during that time that you've scheduled. Okay, so I already talked a little bit before about, setting a minimum goal per day of people that you want to invite. And when you send out those invites, seriously, like, I can't emphasize it enough. Do not look for the response to be the win. The response is that I typed it out and I hit send. Because that takes a lot of guts and courage to do that. Okay. So that's the win, is when I say, hey, I'm putting this out there. Okay. And I can honestly tell you guys, I've never once had anybody be mad at me because I invited them to become a coach. It has never happened. It has never happened in 4 years. I have never had somebody be like, how dare you invite me to this awesome opportunity that you love so much? Never. It's not going to happen. It's just not. Okay. So that fear is completely, and I think you all would agree with me that fear is kind of ridiculous, right? People aren't going to be mad at you. They're not going to be upset. They're not going to run away. Now, if you start hassling them every day and chasing them down at Walmart, yeah, you might then. But just sending a simple, hey girl message, like, I saw your post the other day about, and here's a couple of things that I look for when I'm scrolling Facebook. All right. So let's make our Facebook scroll productive. Okay. I look for people complaining about not having enough money. I look for people who are talking about, like, oh my God, my commute is horrible. I hate it. Or I wish I saw my husband more because he's like, I had a girl just yesterday. Her husband has a 2-hour commute each way to work, 4 hours of drive time. So they never see him. That's sad. That's horrible. That person could really benefit from having a side business that could potentially provide them enough money that her husband could switch his job to somewhere more local, right? That's a gift. You find somebody that's hurting like that in that kind of way, that's life-changing. And that's a gift that you have the potential to give them, right? So I always look for people who are having financial difficulties, or in some way, finances through Beachbody could really impact their life. And I look for people who are motivating and inspiring. Okay, so if you have someone who's just constantly like, you're like, man, I love when I see your posts because you are constantly inspiring me and motivating me. That's a perfect person to invite to become a coach, because they're already doing what we do, right? At least part of it. I look for people who are into fitness. So if I see somebody posting their workouts and they're like running and they love it or whatever, that's a perfect person to invite to become a coach, because they're already encouraging people. They're already sharing their journey. They know how to do that, and they're willingly doing it. People in your challenge groups, okay? People who have experience with Beachbody programs, who have gotten results, perfect people to invite to become a coach. And if you want to kind of backdoor it in with your challengers, here's a way to do it. Just message your challenger. If you see one that's really, posting every day and they're encouraging and they're inspiring other people, just message them and say, hey girl, next week is crazy busy for me. I was just curious, would you mind helping me with the group, helping me facilitate the group? And they'll be like, oh, really? Me? Wow. Yeah, I would love to do that. They're already doing it, right? And then just give them a couple little, assignments throughout the following week. And then at the end of the week, say, hey, thank you so much. Like, you really helped me. You're so good at this. Have you ever thought about being a coach? Like, you basically just did what I do. Like, you did my job this week. You know what I mean? Like, there's just showing people, I think, that they already have it in them is really key. Like, when you can tell someone, look, I know you'd be amazing at this because look, this is X, Y, Z. This is what you're already doing that basically qualifies you for what I do as a coach. Okay, so make your goal, set your goal for how many invites you're going to send out each day, and don't accept anything less. All right, if it's 3 invites a day to become a coach, make sure you get it done. And you know what, you guys, like, have you read that book, Eat That Frog? It's basically this principle of you take your to-do list and then you find the ugliest thing, like the last thing on the list that you want to do, like the worst, the frog, that ugly, nasty thing, right, that you don't want to do, and you do it first. So you get it out of the way. Then all day long is just like rainbows and roses, right? Because you have gotten it out of the way. Otherwise, if you flip it around and you do it last, you're thinking the entire day. Even you're doing something you enjoy, and the whole time you're thinking, oh my God, but I have that one thing that I really need to do, and I'm just dreading it, right? So don't do that to yourself. Do it first. get it out of the way, and then go on to the stuff that you enjoy doing. Okay, and then lastly, I don't know how long I've been on here, 20 minutes. Okay, so lastly, I want to share a tip that I learned from a book that I talk about all the time called Change Anything. And this, I know I've mentioned this many times, but I just keep mentioning it because it's very key. And if you can get this concept down, it will change your life, not just coaching. It will change your life. And that's to learn how to love what you don't enjoy. Okay, so I think that the majority of coaches struggle with inviting people to become a coach. So if you are struggling with that, maybe that's something that's hard for you. Maybe that's your frog, like inviting people to become a coach. Don't feel like you're all alone, because that's what most coaches struggle with. That's where most coaches have this, like, you know, it's not so hard inviting people to become healthy and fit, but for some reason, inviting people to get financially fit is super hard. Why? I don't know, but it is. And so don't feel alone. Don't feel like, oh my God, I'm the only one, right? Even coaches who are recruiting all the time, they're the same way, but they're not letting it hold them back. They're just doing it, and they're focusing on that daily activity, right? They're setting the goal and they're following through. They're being consistent about it. And that's why they're recruiting. But learning to love what you hate, this has really helped me, because there's nothing more that I love than hopping on the phone with my brand new coach who is super pumped up and excited, and hearing their dreams and hearing their goals and hearing why they want to do this, hearing how this is going to change their life when they are successful, hearing, you know, all of those things that they want to accomplish as a new coach. And there's nothing more exciting than watching them start to spread their wings and start to do these things that are going to grow their business. That is so exciting and fulfilling to me, like way exciting. It's like watching a new client losing weight with the 21-day fix. You know, they do their first week and they call you and they're like, oh my God, I lost 7 pounds. I cannot even believe this. This is insane. And they're so excited. That feeling is what I feel when I watch a new coach experience starting to build their business. And so I know that I'm not going to get that feeling if I don't do the invitation, right? Because they're not just going to come to me, right? I don't care how long you've been a coach. They're not just going to flood your gates, you know, out of the blue, knocking down your door to become a coach. It's not going to happen. So don't ever wait on that. It's not going to happen. So I'm not going to get that awesome experience of watching them progress if I don't invite them. It's not going to happen if I don't follow up with them. Okay, so practice that. Practice learning, you know, associating. It's like association. So associate that thing that you love or the thing you want. You know, maybe you're brand new and you've never signed up a coach. And you're like, well, I don't know what it feels like to have a new coach on my team. Okay, what's it going to feel like when you are meeting your income goals? You know, what's it going to feel like that first week that you make $300 in your coaching business? Okay, or what's it going to feel like that first month that you are at $1,000 in your coaching business? How's that going to feel? That only happens, that kind of income only happens when you're growing your team. So associate those good feelings, associate those dreams and goals you have with that activity of inviting people to join your team. And when you do that, you will learn to love inviting, because you'll have that mindset of like, hey, this could be my next rock star, right? That's how you get that mindset. Okay, so I think that's all I had. I'm trying really hard to stick with my timeline on these calls. So I'm going to open up the lines. Oops. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Okay, so everybody's unmuted. Anybody have any comments or questions? Anyone?
I don't really have any questions, but I just wanted to share what I read this morning when I was doing my personal development. I was reading The Go-Giver again, and I wrote this down. It says, approach each task as though you love it, even if you don't love it. So I thought about that.
Right?
Yeah, we were talking. I love it, no matter if I don't love it.
Yeah. I think that's important. It's really important, because, I mean, it's that way with working out, right?
Yeah. I do love working out now, though, so that kind of motivates me with the business part of it. One day I will love parts of it more than I love right now. So.
Yeah. Yes, and that's absolutely true. And that's because, like, I mean, what makes you love fitness now when you didn't love it before?
It changed my life, and it just makes me feel better about myself overall.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I miss a couple of days, I feel really yucky.
Grumpy.
So, yeah.
Yeah, me too. So, yeah, I mean, I was the same way. Like, I didn't want to work out. I hated working out. Oh my God, you know? But, like, I did it, and I lost 3 days. After I got those results, that's when I was like, oh, wow, this is awesome. And slowly over time, I learned to love it. And now I do. And I can't not work out. It's just part of my life.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah. Anybody else? Who's on the phone? The 559 number. Who's that?
It's Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We have a couple people with 559 numbers, so I never can remember who's who with just the number. All right. Well, did everything I said make sense? Does anybody have any questions or more pointers on anything? No? Okay, so I'm going to give you guys an assignment. I want you to go into that link that I posted underneath the announcement for our team chat and click on that link. It's the Google Drive for Coach Inviting, and just check out the documents that I have in there, okay? Go through, there's 2 coaching scripts. There's this Hey Girl invite, which is really a system, like 4 steps, 4 or 5 steps on how to send a Hey Girl message, right? How to do this. And then there's an invite script that has those top coaches and their invites that they do, their initial messages. Yeah, just going in here and see. There is a document called How to Present the Business, which is by Mindy Winder. And that's a really great document for, like, once somebody says, yeah, I'm interested, go to that document and read it through before you talk to them, because it'll really give you like a good, it'll give you direction for where to go with it. And then there's a document called Ad Script, and this is for those times when you send out a message.
That is a minute. They still do background checks on you.
Sorry. Wait, I don't know what I did. Okay, I just muted everybody again real quick. Okay, so that last one is a coaching ad script. So that's for when you post on your public page, like, or your personal page, and you say, like, hey, coaching has been just this amazing thing in my life, and I'm looking for people to join my team. And you might get somebody who says, like, hey, I'm interested in that. What's that all about? That's a great script to follow for people who have already expressed interest. Okay. So that's your assignment for this week. Go through those documents and schedule a time slot in your day that you're going to start using for your invites. Okay. If there is a time in your day where you feel particularly energetic and excited about your day, put it there. Okay, because you're going to, seriously, like, your mindset is everything. It's totally everything. And yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about inviting. And if nobody has anything else, I'm going to let you guys go. What happened? I'm going to let you guys go. You good?
We're good.
All right, love you guys. Thanks so much for hopping on with me. I really appreciate it. All right, let's kill it this week.
Mom.
Bye.
Bye.